there's a struggle going on between opposite concepts of how to push forward in a positive direction for people amongst the energies of America. You see, there's this notion that education is a singular movement for one direction, where we have those that strive for higher learning and those that strive to do things more than to learn first and grow and mature, see the hidden messages left behind by historical facts, and others see the temptation of fictitious entities and lines of text that can bring forth some sort of enjoyment or pleasure or some sort of second place trophy that they've obtained by fantasizing on these ideas that have no weight towards a justice for any group of people. We have to identify the problem. If the problem is education, then we have to then strive for a better opportunity for the children to then sprout forth from the soil to a magnificent tree that's built strong and tough, that can remain standing after it weathers the storm of any amount of natural or man-made events. So the first thing that should be learned throughout anything, in my opinion, is the laws of the controlling people that dictate what you do, where you are, how you act, how you socialize, how you commune with the money and every other construct of social dictatorships that come along with these things. If there's not a adamant force to drive forward this notion of truly understanding laws, the history of them, not to follow suit and be a slave and be a good boy, Johnny. These are the rules. Don't jaywalk. Say hi and bye. Do this. No, it's to understand how these laws came about, what laws still govern us now, which hidden messages from these other people that have run things or that run things behind the lines with false money and claims that make sure that we stay the way that we are, whether you be poor white people, poor blacks, Asians, it don't matter. It's the understanding that we have to overcome these laws or these agendas or these motives or these objects that keep us behind a wall, that keeps us confined within a space like a prison house. Then you have to understand of the cooperation of a group of people that can withstand the test of time and overshadow and overthrow what has been happening to them for centuries. All races of people have had this. It doesn't matter what you want to claim it to be, honestly. But we're so worried about competing instead of working together to identify the problem. The problem is the rulership that thinks that they can do whatever they feel like they want to do, because we don't want to be competent and rational individuals and put aside petty shit and then amount to something greater to overthrow something. It may be that the brainwashing of hundreds of years of programming given and force-fed and spoon-fed to each new generation keeps us entangled within webs of these lies, these misdirections to lead us and to keep us focused on other things, while in the background they laugh purposely to try to perpetuate something that isn't really there, and they know it's not. It's like a ghost jab in boxing where you can feel it, but you don't really think that is there. It scares you. They run you by fear. They run you by the lack of knowledge that you have. They don't have to control you physically anymore because your mind is already warped and tapped into other confines, so that way you will never want to fight or retaliate. And when you look at the ones that do, without the proper knowledge of laws, self, positive interactions and things of that nature, then things fall apart. We have to teach kids certain things, laws, financing, how to keep up with the times, or be inventive and smart enough to predict where things will be to launch things further and first, so that you can benefit more. We're all about trying to have this image of self now and not self-worth for now and later, and for later on then, because our history isn't really history. It's just a continuation of a present that changes ever so slightly to be modified to think that it's something new, but it's not. We all plagiarize over everybody else, so it seems that we've lost touch with all of these different things, that we just try to make it seem like it's something more when it's really not. The basic purpose of life is to grow and mature, to heal your soul through all of the traumas and afflictions that have happened to you over the course of your time. Like seeds grow, they battle, and they keep battling until they grow into this magnificent tree, which then braces itself and can understand, and it drops a seed of new knowledge to be planted and then regrown, so that it can continue the same cycle. If we learn from nature, that we can see that there's nothing new, as they say, under the sun. The sun has seen all. It understands all. Just like we have to understand not everything. Not one person can know everything. That's impossible. But for a group of collective people to then understand it all is a powerful thing. But they keep us within this tournament to try to figure out who can outbeat who can out hurdle who can have the first step, who can cheat out who can hurt who the most. Hurt people. I wrote a poem about that, in the sense that the only thing that we do is we hurt people, and hurt people. You can be a murderer, but you was hurt by somebody, so you decided to hurt somebody else. That's how America is. It wants to constantly, if it's hurt, it wants to hurt other people, and it's going to continuously hurt people because America is hurt. It feels the pain of the people, and or it was once in the position where we are now, where we are locked inside of this imprisonment, being tortured, and they will not want to see themselves being tortured over and over again, so they hurt people. Is it right? No. Hurting people just so that you can be satisfied isn't right. But they become a victim of their own ideologies. They become entrapped in this thing, and they are brainwashed from the jump, just like we are. So the top of the top, these elites that hurt people, are only doing what they've been taught to do. But so are we. So it's a continuous cycle. Everything has a cycle. Everything comes full circle. So it doesn't matter really about the things of what you want to do. It's what's going to benefit your legacy, your generation of images that come after you. You're just one single portrait in this large art museum. But if the descendants that will paint you later and later on, if they don't learn how to better handle and be better equipped with the equipment that they have, how can they be true artists?